Xiaohua takes you to study and record classes. Hello everyone, I'm Xiaohua. In the previous episode, we talked about how to use CourseMaker to record PPTs, recording portrait, recording, screen recording, and other functions. Today we will talk about how to use CourseMaker to record PPT1 while taking a portrait of a lecturer. Based on our previous courses. Let's do an addition. Good, so let's start today's lesson. Recording PPT1 while recording a portrait. Let's first open the PPT file we want to record. After opening the PPT file that needs to be recorded, let's move it to a corner of the computer desktop. And then, let's click on another button. Right next to the screen recording settings, there's a button called Take Video. Yes. You can see this window. It's exactly the same window we use to shoot videos separately. So what about the place where we shoot videos? We just need to choose a recording device to record the sound. Let's open the recording settings in the screen recording settings. Let's take a look. You see, at this time, there are no options in our screen recording settings that do not include recording device sound. And you have the option to record device sound at the location where you are shooting. What is this? That's right. Why? If you also check the previous recording device sound in your screen recording device, you also check the sound of the previous device at the shooting location. When starting the CourseMaker software, when we started recording, it's equivalent to two applications calling the same device. This will cause anomalies. You'll report an error. So, let's record the PPT on the side. When recording portraits, we just need to check our recording device in the portrait window. After selecting, let's click on the Start button below the Record PPT window. After the countdown is completed, we can start recording. Welcome to the 5 tips for simplifying work with CourseMaker. Similarly, we can use the directional keys on the keyboard, mouse, or the previous and next steps in the control panel. Come on, adjust this to control the progress of the PPT. If you think this hand sometimes doesn't look good when operating the mouse, what wireless pager can you come with? You're holding it in your hand, for remote control. If that's the case, you wouldn't have the screen of operating the mouse like this. After recording, let's just click on End for the same thing. At this point, after recording, we see two objects generated on the orbit. The object above is my portrait object. The following object is the screen recording object I drove down. Good, let's hold down the Shift key on the keyboard. Drag the border of this portrait object. You can adjust the size and position of the portrait object. Some students may ask, he said, how come your recorded PPT has white edges? This is because the PPT I used itself has a white border, This is a template from Microsoft's PPT. The white edge itself is its image. It's not the white edge of our canvas. If the PPT you recorded doesn't have any white edges, but you see this whole canvas area with white edges, you can adjust the size of the portrait like us. Just hold down the Shift key and drag it. You can adjust the size of your PPT. What can it do to cover our entire canvas? Hold down the Shift key. Let's emphasize it again. What can shortcut keys do for us? Keep the aspect ratio of our objects unchanged when resizing. I have seen many teachers' works before. They can either tune it into something. Basically, it's either like this, either it's like this. Of course, it's basically not like this because teachers like to look thin. So he used this method to slim himself down. I feel like I need to lose some weight, but it looks thin. But in reality, the image of the portrait, we can tell from a closer look that we have a clear eye. At a glance, it can be seen that this is a distorted image. So, like before, let me tell you another little trick. What kind of Control-Z is commonly used on computers? Cancel. I just gave you a demonstration, right? Give a demonstration and I'll adjust it later. I'll revoke the operation for him. If you can't remember the shortcut keys, you can look at the upper left corner of the CourseMaker software above, right. There is an undo control with Z added. There's a duplicate. Control+Y has this button. You can also press the button. That's what we're talking about recording a PPT1 while recording a portrait. And then, in the portrait section, we can see here. The portrait part actually has a large green screen part. Right. Hold it down, click on the portrait we need to record. Drag the portrait object next to the portrait. The little yellow dots around here. We can cut off the excess parts for everyone. I'll put the portrait in any corner of my screen. Good. Let's preview the finished product effect. Welcome. It seems that this is how we can record PPT1 while taking portraits today. About the portrait captured. How do we perform green screen carving? How to make people appear in different positions during different course periods. Or at some point in time, I don't even have a portrait. We will explain these operations in detail in future chapters. Follow me, bringing you more and better entry knowledge.